We are preparing the stream. I think it's coming on. I think we're on. Oh, we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube, folks. Hi, welcome to Extra Connections Live. I am James Lott Jr. We are connecting on Friday night. My computer didn't want to connect tonight, but I'm connecting, and we're going to make it through. We are going to make it through. I actually have a song called that. We're going to make it through, which you can find on SoundCloud.
Nice.
Okay, so tonight, he looks very nice tonight in his hat and clean shaven, kind of. Well,
and the little
yeah, we're both wearing black, but I'm wearing a shirt that means if you're Asian, you know what this means. And I'm going to talk to him about all kinds of stuff. It's my chance to ask my friend questions I've never asked him before.
So I have one question before we start. I get one. That is am I supposed to answer like a lightning round type deal, or am I supposed to like sit there and wait and think and give you like backstory as to why I pick it?
Number one.
Wow, it's like that.
This is your chance to relax and not be a producer or in charge of a show. I will give you instruction to everything. I will let you know exactly what's going on, so you will not be surprised. You just follow along with James Lott Jr.
Are people in the chat? I need to know this.
Let's see. Okay, I will say hello, and okay, I'm going to have to share it out to you a couple places real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Get started. But this is a show we do. I connect people, places, things, and ideas. And
I'm a thing.
We are on. Yeah. But the thing is, he's a producer. He has his own shows. He has his own network. Well, of shows. Tell him where he can follow you.
Yeah, you can follow me at newamsterdam.com. That's KNAWamsterdam.com for all the shows I'm working on. It's kind of crazy to say that I have a network, but I do. And if you're living in the Southern California area, or even nationwide, or even globally with travel restrictions, you want to book me live to your event, we're talking about virtual emceeing, in-person emceeing in the Southern California area, DJing, motivational speaking. You do that at Flobito.com. That's FLOBITO.com.
Yes, do it. Do it or else I will come after you. Okay, so yes, some folks are coming out, some other folks coming out who are asking if I ask the good questions. So how this is going to work is, I'm going to do this with other people too. So Flobo is going to be my first test of this. I've only known Flobo a few years, so I don't know him that well anyway, so it's going to be all new for me. Sure. I know something will be new for me. What's going to happen tonight, Mr. Boyce, is that there's going to be 2 games. One in the beginning.
Games? Yes!
Mm-hmm. I didn't bring out the wheel because you give me shit about my wheel, so I didn't bring the wheel out.
I want to see your wheel. I like the wheel. Wheel's cool.
Yes. But this time it's just 2 games. One's called Either Or.
Ooh.
And the other one's just called Flobito. So, and in between that, it's questions.
Okay.
And 1 second, kids, while I'm looking at this. While you're here, hit that like button, kids.
Like, comment, subscribe. Look, JLJ Media is taking the world by storm with different media properties. Whether you like daytime talk, soap talk, connecting with other people, or even other shows like Left-Handed with a Lot to Say, or what's it? I Can't Believe I'm a Grandparent, or I'm Not Really a Grandparent, the Grandparent Show. All that stuff, JLJ Media. Whether you go on Spreaker, whether you're on YouTube, JLJ is where to be.
Yes. And I don't see... Someone said they sent me a question.
They probably put that in that request folder. If they don't know JLJ Media, they'll be in that request folder.
This person knows me.
Oh, in that case, please maybe.
This person doesn't know me. Okay.
Oh.
Let me ask that. Just kidding. I'll ask it, I'm sure.
I'm scared. Kirsten, help me. Save me.
Yes, and then yes, I got one here. So I got one question there. Oh, you're right. Maybe that's what it is, isn't it? Okay. And then I'll go to another one because I'm like, someone else said they sent me a question too. So we're going to talk about this, kids. We're going to talk about Flobo, Boyce. How are you doing this evening on a Friday night? What's going on?
I'm good. This is the last thing I had scheduled today. I've been trying to get into this groove of reading more books. So I started a book club on my Patreon, patreon.com/FloboBoys. And so I was reading the first book today. I helped out a friend, Tony Moore, with the season 2 reboot. Season 2, I don't know how to say it, of More Please, coming this Monday. And get to hang out with James JLJ. Again, I don't know how many questions or how deep it's going to go, but I told him I had not seen the questions. For those of you who are watching this, I have not seen the questions. I didn't even ask In fact, the only thing I've asked was just now, I said, how many are they? Do I have to go slow or fast? And he was like, forget you. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. So I know nothing. So this is all going to be reaction in the moment. He's told me he wants to make me cry. We're going to find out if it does. I almost cried Thursday. That's why I was telling you I don't. I almost did Thursday.
Oh, but yeah. Well, okay. Mm-hmm. Hey guys, Christina's in there. Oh, Christina Sullivan.
Oh, what's up, Christina? Yeah, she's an author too.
And we also, Flobito is part of several projects that are coming out. One tomorrow, February 6th, called Dinner at Mama's. It's a really short story podcast. It's a great one. But a bunch of great people. Tony Moore is one of them also. And Christina's one of them also. So it's a great first of three-parter. So please check that out where you find your fine audio drama podcast.
Wait, it's only 3 parts? That was like a part 4 coming.
There's one's coming. We have to do part 4. I can't say anything too loud.
Yeah,
but I have part 4. But of course, right now I'm writing a series at the moment that out of nowhere. That's another story.
You don't stop.
This is crazy. Okay, so we're gonna do some of these. I see some folks are coming. We have some people watching, and you can always watch this later, of course, and find out about him, your friend Flobito. So this is called Either Or.
Hit me.
You have to choose either or. Okay, in a partner.
Damn it, for real? Okay, sorry.
Bad breath at 6 a.m. or a body odor at 6 p.m.
Bad breath at 6 a.m. Easy.
A gun to your head. Which name do you have to change? Your first name or your last name?
First. Everyone loves Boyce. It rolls off a tongue. Boyce.
You only watch one or the other. Wrestling or baseball?
Oh, you son of a bitch. Dang. For those of you who don't know, man, baseball is a very important sport to me. Like, I love baseball, but as a black person, I feel like no one gives enough credit anymore, even though baseball basically has much saved America and the black players that do it.
Mostly brown people. Hello.
Mostly brown people, even like Roberto Clemente, but like even the Negro leagues, baseball integrated not because they like black people, it's because people are going to see them more. It's a money thing. So I feel like I defend a sport that's kind of dying, but I don't know, man. I have to go wrestling, man. Wrestling is just a fun show.
Okay, so we didn't ask for the Black History Month moment.
I said wrestling. It's February.
I know really. Demo goes, choose wrestling, please. He chose wrestling.
I chose wrestling.
Okay. This question, I don't even know if you eat any of these anyway, but Pop-Tarts or toaster strudel?
I think toaster strudel is a better food, but there's more flavor than Pop-Tarts. So I'm going to go with Pop-Tarts. Better food is subjective. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's one, and I've been in both. A hot New York summer or a nor'easter New York winter?
Oh, summer. Yeah, dude, I could be as miserable and as mosquito bitten riddled in New York, but do not give me snow to shovel, because in my house I have to shovel it. That's why I moved out west. I'll take a New York summer with a quickness. That's a great
answer. I love that. Here you go. Lose an arm or lose a leg? Someone asked me this question on another show, and I thought that's actually a really interesting one.
Ah, man. For those who don't know this, my grandma actually lost a leg. She lost some diabetes. I'm going to go with losing arm. At least I can still drive.
No, see, wrong hand.
Yeah, exactly. Put it in drive.
You better hope it's your right arm.
Yeah, get the right arm. That's fine. Yes. Not my left arm. That's crazy.
Yes. Constipation or diarrhea for 3 days?
Constipation. I got a story about that, but I won't get into it because it's gross.
And lastly,
about poop.
I love duty talk. So
okay, so real quick. So I lived in Brooklyn my first 18 years, and I went to college in Florida. It's the first time leaving home, and so I lived in a dorm with a suite. So it was like 2 dorm rooms, and we shared a bathroom with 4 guys. And the other guys were on the soccer team, so the bathroom was gross. And so I moved to Florida. I was so scared to use the bathroom. I refused to go for 8 days until my body was like, bro, you got to put this somewhere else. And so I walked to the library. The bathroom's clean every night.
I was going to ask you. Yeah, go somewhere else.
So I had a caddy. I would walk cross campus using the library bathroom. Yeah.
All righty.
What are you going to know about me today?
I know. I'm like, that's risky. Well, last question is wrong. I always ask this question of everybody that I talk to. Apples or oranges?
I like, what's that called? Pacific Rose. That's my favorite one.
Okay. Those are good. Yeah. When people choose apples, I'm like, that kind of person, okay.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I never tell. So I'm a big Granny Smith or Pippin. I like the greens.
Okay. I don't knock my Granny Smith, but I feel like they take layers off my teeth. It's like, ooh. What up, Granny?
Oh my God. The person who asked for the link is not even in the chat room. Where the fuck are you? Okay. Yeah, I get mad at the fans. I always scream back at them. Okay. So here's okay. So we're gonna ask these are regular questions. The other thing is towards the end of the show. James Lipton, famous, one of my favorite interviews of all time, had the blue cards. It was always good. And at the end, he had the questionnaire. And one of the questions he asked, he did a special on that one, saying that women, all his female guests were happy to answer the question. The male guests took a little while longer and were a little more cautious. Don't know what that means. So I'm going to ask you, Flobo Boyce, what is your favorite curse word?
Oh, there's just so many. There's so many to use there. I say motherfucker. MUHFUGGA, motherfucker. That's one. It just rolls off the tongue, and it's cool when I say it that way. When I was a kid, I would say "son of a mother." That was like my fake curse, so I don't get in trouble. Son of a mother. Yeah, motherfucker.
I say motherfucker all the time, so you know I do.
Hell yeah, man. You know how it is. That motherfucker over there.
I do. I like, Either my favorite curse word is shit.
Oh yeah, shit works too. Yeah.
Well, shit's very versatile. It's a noun, it's a verb, it's an adjective. I have time for this shit. Fuck this shit. You are shit. I gotta take shit. It's like this. It kind of just covers everything, but motherfucker always works for me. I just.
Yeah, it's a term of endearment most times.
You guys at home, what's your favorite curse word? Tell me. Okay.
Tell us.
Okay, Flobo, tell me a joke.
I don't know any jokes.
You don't have like a joke too? Nothing?
I don't. I know what, as a comic, man, that's the worst thing to ask someone. That is the worst thing to ask a comic, because it feels like you don't go to a stripper and be like, take off your clothes. It's just a weird thing. I don't have any jokes. I don't. I think situations and make them funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why should people watch your content?
I don't fucking know. No, just nobody does anyway. No, what the thing is, I actually really ask myself this question all the time, and it's like, what am I doing that's different? And so I think every show, I say with levity, but every show has a injection of humor that allows us to like unbutton our ties and enjoy the content. So I do Star Trek, wrestling, the most like ingrained fan bases, but you can relax. Or my late night talk show, I have fun, but then I get to ask serious questions. So it's always a balance between serious and humor. Heart's like this, man. He's gonna ask me like,
what would be your favorite? No, that's the wrong question. The wrong. No. What would be your dream show?
Ooh, so my friends make fun of me for this. My close friends. That's why I actually have a t-shirt that says this at Flobito, threadless.com. It's been the Flobito Tonight project. So I didn't have cable growing up. And so two things. One, the Tonight Show was on everyone who had rabbit ears. And so for me, the Tonight Show is with Jay Leno. It's kind of a person I am, the age I am. I watch Carson, I watch Fallon, but to me, the Tonight Show was with Jay Leno. And I love the fact that he was able to give us new material every night. But I didn't have cable, so I grew up with Flip Wilson, which kids my age don't, because that was like 20 years before. But it was something that came in reruns. Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to do something like that. Wayne Brady did it too for a bit. It was like the old school variety show, the vaudeville show. Everything I've done in entertainment was to resurrect vaudeville. So people say, "What's the dream show?" It's called Flobito Tonight in my head and my friends, but it's more closer to this Mexican show called Sábado Gigante, where it's a giant party and there's different acts.
Don Francisco. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That show went on for like 10 hours on Saturday nights. It was on all.
You knew it was Saturday. It was like, all right, Sábado Gigante.
Sábado Gigante.
To do something like that would be kind of cool, just to have like different acts and interview them and sketches and games. And of course, I'll be the through line with the comedy and whatnot.
I like that idea. I like that. What is it about vaudeville that attracts you?
It's a lot of ways. It's like baseball. It's a part of Americana that a lot of people of color were a part of, and there were different circuits, and we contributed so much to the art form, and it gets lost to the side. And two, the art form itself is pretty much dead. So whereas when it comes to baseball, I was like, oh, there was Negro Leagues, there was integrations, there was Roberto Clemente, there was like Curtis Granderson. Even now with vaudeville, there was like, no offense, but the Chitlin circuit, the Taco Bend. I forgot what the Jewish circuit was called, but they were so along ethnic lines, and they were different, but everyone appreciated the art form. It was like you get dressed up, you bring a gal or guy, and you saw this live show that was a traveling circus. And I don't know, I think we need some of that, not to separate them, but to bring it back for everyone. Yeah.
I'm all for segregation.
Yes, it's equal. Woo.
Exactly. Now I'll get a little clip. It says James says he's all for segregation. I know that's gonna come out.
It was him.
What scares you in real life?
Not death, but the decline. So it isn't so much like I'm gonna die, because I'm kind of logical. Everything that lives must die. We are made of dust, and so we'll go back to dust. But like when I do my laundry, I put my laundry bag over my shoulder and I go down to my laundry room. Like there's going to be a day where I can't do that anymore. Or there's going to be a day where I'm going to be tired at like 10:30, which is today. No, but I'm saying I'm going to be tired, or I'll be able to have enough energy. It's the knowing that even though it's okay with age and it's part of living, to understand that's the part that scares me the most. So it's going to happen. So I've got to face it. But yeah.
I agree. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of the pre-death.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want.
That's why everyone's like, you need someone to wipe your butt. And I'm like, damn, I gotta think about that now.
I do. Oh yeah, here's some fun ones. Okay, this is the first of two Marry, Shag, Kills.
All right, explain this game to me one more time.
What? Can you stop producing my show? I'm about to do it right now. Okay. So everyone at home, what I was going to say is everyone at home, we don't know what this means. Shag is a British term for fuck. But we're not saying fuck. So we're saying shag. So he has to pick one person out of this threesome to marry, one to shag, and one to kill. It's a fun game. It's not for real.
Is marry better than killing, though, or worse than killing?
It's up to, I have no answer for that. It's up to you.
Okay.
Marry, shag, and kill. Killing is the worst thing to do, right? I don't know why you ask me.
I know killing is bad, but I don't know where is it like, because killing is like, okay.
It is your perception.
Overthinking it. We're gonna go.
Exactly. I know, but I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay. Purple light means serenity, man. Let me know, bro.
Oh my God. Okay, everybody, we'll get there, guys. We'll get there. It's him. We'll get there.
I'm sorry. I'm just okay.
Okay, because you did it to me, not this question, but you did it to me on some level, so I'm going to get you in trouble.
Okay.
Carrie D. Lane.
Okay.
Leslie Colon.
Okay.
Amy Doc Govea.
I'm marrying everybody. I'm marrying everybody.
Nope, there's no harems. Nope, you got to marry, shag, or kill.
I got to marry everybody, man. Come on, man.
Nope, that's how it works.
I know Tammy the least, and that's why she's on my show this weekend. So I know the least, so I have to kill her by default. I am sorry.
Tammy Doc Govea?
I don't know much about her, which is why she's on the show. I gotta marry Leslie, and I have to kill Shag Carrie D. Lane. Yeah.
Carrie's cute. She got a husband, but she's cute.
But not okay. It's a game. Don't be clipping this out.
Okay, it's a game.
Don't be clipping this
out.
No.
The goddamn game, Flobo. Cheese and crackers. Oh my God! Wait till you see the ones later. Let's see how he figures that one out. I met Leslie Esposa. Yes, okay.
Leslie, mi prima, no mi esposa. ¿Qué pasito, güey?
So Haywood has a question, which kind of could go with this.
Haywood.
Who were you crushing on ABTV?
Man, so many women. Okay, so it's like this. You would look at someone and admire the female form or personality, but for me, there was always that hard line because I am one of the older hosts, not the oldest. People are older than me AfterBuzz, not saying, but like a lot of the AfterBuzz talent were like in their early 20s. So it was like they were attractive, but I never was like, oh man, you know. Not to say that you can't be beautiful.
That's your question, Haywood. That's why he's not saying who.
No, I don't want like 20-year-olds to be mad. I'm not saying you can't be attractive at 20. I'm just saying at my age, it's kind of inappropriate.
Mm-hmm. So that's his answer for him. Oh, and then this person is going to get on the same lines. I'll get these out the way.
I was asking about my dating life. What's going on with you people?
They want to know.
Yeah, well, I tell them every week.
Okay. This person has 3 questions.
3? You get 1. I'm producing your show. I'm sorry. I'm
producing my show. Okay. Tony Moore wouldn't do this.
You would. Actually, he kind of would. He was make fun of your age, too.
Actually, he likes being just talent, just coming on. I mean, I'm all giving him stuff. He will do nothing and just do whatever I tell him. Mm-hmm. Anime or manga?
I used to read manga hardcore, so I'm gonna go with that one. Manga, M-A-N-G-A, manga.
Yeah, manga.
Yeah, I do manga. Yeah, manga is the graphic novel, the comic books. So I used to read those a lot. Anime, I don't quite understand. Like I understand it's great. I understand the big sphere of influence, but I'm on the outside going like, oh. So I'm gonna go with manga. Yeah.
Now this question I think I already know already. Florida or Cali?
Oh, but Disney World's in Florida though. California. I go California. There's no humidity, man. Dude, I try to go for the weather, man.
I love Florida, but I mean, there's no humidity. I don't mind.
But public subs.
Now they're asking a question that I won't even know. So I don't know what the answer would be, but how do you feel Williams Racing will realistically perform this upcoming year?
So Williams Racing is a team in Formula One, and their car is kind of one of the slowest ones. But like my favorite Formula One driver is George Russell, and he he drives for that team. I think they're going to be on the bottom half, but I think we're going to see George really spread his wings because he did fantastic last season. George is my boy. I bought his jersey last. I'm all about it.
There you go, folks. That was some people asking questions there.
Formula One, man. Boom, boom, boom.
How old were you when you rode the subway by yourself for the first time?
By myself. So for those of you who don't know, I live in Brooklyn on the southeast side, and this is me nerding out. There's no subways. Basically, the train stops at Brooklyn College, and because all the water is marshland, and I'm getting into it. My dad used to work for transit. So the water's marshland, they couldn't build subways, so there's no subway. So the first time I rode by myself, I had to have been, I would say, 15. It was a school trip where they just said meet us at the Federal Reserve. So I did the train there. But I took buses until before then. So 14, 15.
So you took the bus to the subway and then went to the subway?
In this instance, yeah. So I took the B41 to the junction, the Ocean Avenue Junction, and a 2 to not Bowling Green, but whatever the Federal Reserve's at.
Yes, folks. The buses in New York, like in Manhattan, they're M, like 111, M10. Bronx, I forgot Bronx is
BX.
BX. Brooklyn is BK, B. Right?
No, just B.
Just B. It's just B. So they all have for the boroughs. There are 5 boroughs in New York. Just to get something. There are 5 boroughs in New York. Got something like that. The biggest one is Brooklyn. Okay.
I'm sorry, Haywood. I don't mean to try James' patience. I'm just a little nervous, is all.
I hate that. A song you wish you could retire from any future DJ set.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
He didn't think about that one, did he?
No, I hate it. There's no rhythm to it. It's like what, 6 minutes long. You can't cut out of it early because everyone loves doing mama. I hate it. It just pisses me off. Even bad song like the Chicken Dance has a purpose. Kids' birthdays, great. Bohemian Rhapsody, I killed a man.
What song could you play over and over again if you were forced to?
There's a song by Daddy Yankee called La Despacita. Despacita. No, not Despacito. That sounds lame. La Despacita. I think it's called like the Forgotten or whatever. That's one I really like a lot. That's another one. But as far as like pop, Hypnotize, that's a good one.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize. I love that song. Girl, don't kill Tammy, she's sweet.
I want to learn about After Monday. It'll change. I swear. It'll change. I swear.
He's a dude. That's what dudes do.
I hate this camera rating.
Yeah. What would be the cutoff age for you to date a woman?
Like
in your
high or low?
Cutoff. I'm just either way.
I would say on the younger side, I don't see me going below 25. Not to say that you can't look a certain way. I just think like it's different life phases. I thought about this last week. I think for women on the other side, on being older than me, I think by 57, 60, that's another life stage. That's like a whole different life stage. So it's not like, 60 is old. It's just there's another wavelength. So 50 years old is fine, 55 is fine, 40, 45 is fine, 40, 38, 35 is fine. Yeah.
All right.
She gotta be banging though. I met Sean Robinson in last February, and I was like,
she's cute. She's cute.
And she's like what, in the mid-50s?
Yeah, around my age. Bro.
I was nervous. I met Raven Simone, whatever. I met Chris Tucker. Sean Robinson. I was like, can I get a picture, please?
How did you feel when you learned you were losing your hair?
So I was losing my hair at 21. So that was pretty rough for me. And I was also heavier too. I was still 375 pounds. I had bad acne. And so I did the most things people do and to try to gel it and style it and comb it over and try to make something happen. So I took it really rough. And then at 24, I said, all right, it's gotta do it now. So I've been bald. And I'm at the age now, I'm 35 now, for those of you who don't know. I'm at the age now where it's okay, I guess. But back then, I took it really hard.
You have a nice shape, Ted.
Well, thank you.
What is one thing that you learned while being larger that has stuck with you since?
People don't care about your personality. When you're heavy, the people make assumptions about your intelligence level, about your drive, whether or not you're lazy. I think it's helped me out because I try to be as compassionate as I can with people. Or if someone is kind of abrasive, I try to take time to learn about them and why they are, because it could be a defense mechanism. So you'll see me say this all the time. Jay, he's kind of rough, but he's all right, because I take the time to learn that. Because when you're that heavy, it's always, lose some weight, you son of a bitch. So yeah, and love is not blind. And people say they like personalities, they love people with nice smiles, but it's all bullshit. It really is a physical attraction that counts, and people do treat people who are physically fit better.
Do you feel emotionally lighter since you've lost weight?
In my mind's eye, I'm 24 years old and 280 pounds. So I am less than my maximum, but when I look in the mirror, I'm walking on the street and I see myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh no, if I don't put down a donut, I'll be 300 pounds again. So lighter, yes, but not all the way.
Yeah, I know it's for me, the fat kid stays with me all the time. I just, even when I was my skinniest, it's one of those weird emotional things that you see your body a different way.
Mm-hmm.
What is one movie that you walked out
on? Walked out. The Avengers, but not like the Marvel one, the one from like the 90s, the one with Sean Connery and Uma Thurman and Ralph Fiennes. That one I was like, what is going? A weather machine? What, Pete and Steele, John Steed, Emma Peel, that Avengers?
Oh, that Avenger. Oh yeah, that Avenger. Okay,
yeah, from the 90s. Yeah. Not Marvel, yeah.
I was like, dang, he walked out on that day. Right?
Yeah, over it.
I'm done. I don't go there anymore. Why do you not like dogs?
I'm afraid of them.
Why are you afraid of them?
That's two questions, though. I didn't. My mom did not have. I didn't grow up around animals in my house. I like lizards, by the way, so I'm not totally a soulless person. So geckos, iguanas are fine. My mom, when she was a kid in the Caribbean, watched a dog mangle her sister's leg. And so when she had a family, there was no animals allowed in the house. And so I never dealt with them. I'm also from a culture where dogs are like a utility. Like they'll eat, they'll hunt, they'll get stuff. And if it dies, you get another one. But in this country here, they treat them like people. And not to say like I'm an alien, but to have animal people, you need people who are not animal people. And that's just one of I am. And so as a kid, there was a Rottweiler. Her name was Lizzie. And a bunch of the boys, you know how kids are back before the internet, guys. They used to go outside and play. And we had a crew of like seven dudes that would go out and play all day, all summer. I remember one time a couple of guys had super soakers, which I didn't have because my dad didn't believe in guns, didn't like guns. As conservative Republican as he is, didn't like guns. I'm getting somewhere with this. I promise, James.
No, please.
Some of the kids were taking turns like squirting the water guns up a dog's nose, which you shouldn't do. Never get anything up a dog's nose. It's wet. Use the thing. So of course Lizzie was traumatized. And every time Lizzie saw any one of us, foam out the mouth, brah, 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 brah. I was there, but I didn't do it. And so you can imagine going to school and finding this Rottweiler, like claws up or fangs up, written to mangle you at every point in time. I said, absolutely not. And ever since then, I will tell people that story. And that's the one fear no one respects. I can say I hate heights. I can say I hate clowns. I can say I hate onions. Everyone's like, oh, well, I get it. I don't like dogs. How could you not? My dog is so cute. Like, I don't want it. Get it away. You know, I don't hold babies. I don't deal with dogs. I just don't do it. Do not. Don't do it to me, man. And I've been clawed at. I've been scratched. I've been bitten before. I've been bitten by dogs in 3 different countries. So I know it's just maybe I'll cross the street when I see one. What
was the last lie you told?
When I said, James, happy to be on the show. I don't remember. I don't remember. Not to say I don't lie anymore, because that's impossible. But I think, especially with pandemic, all the lies you would do. Oh, I guess my mom had called me one time. She had a dream, and she's Caribbean. I had a dream about you. So let's see if you're okay. And I had like $10 in my bank account and nothing in the cupboard. And I had the sniffles, and I was like, I'm great. Don't worry about me, Mom. But I should have said, like, worry about me. What are you doing? So that was about like 6 months ago. Yeah, I think that's the last lie I remember telling.
Now it's time for Mary Shag Kill Gay Edition.
Gay Edition.
So you are actually who you are now. He identifies as straight, folks.
I do.
This is who you would marry, shag, and kill as a straight dude. 3 names.
It's only a game.
It's only a game, folks. Only a game, but he's not going to ask him anything. So
I'm gonna phrase my answer so you can't clip it out. As a straight man, I would marry. As a
someone edit it together later, just to worry. But actually, someone asked me to ask you this. I did the other one. I told them, they're like, you should ask him this. What he says.
I blame Tony Moore. It's like a Tony Moore thing.
I'm not telling. Marry, shag, kill. Jack Farmer.
Marry.
He has
beautiful smooth skin.
I finish the names. Jack Farmer, Adam K. Woods, me.
I'm killing you easy. I'm gonna bang Adam K. Woods 6 ways of Sunday. I'm gonna marry Jack Farmer and talk about it. Remember that time when I killed James Lott? It was great. Back, I wouldn't kill anybody. You guys know it's a game.
So you're sleeping with me?
I mean, yeah. Can I sleep with you?
I'm not marriage material.
I mean, you're a lot. I mean, you are a lot to 2 T's. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that means something. That's a pun that actually matters. You
just did. Oh my God, you punned for me.
That's how uncomfortable I am. I will pun.
I'm like, oh my goodness, I kind of like that. Okay, just pun for me. Okay, so he's sleeping with me. That's fine, I guess. I mean, we'll do it. I mean, we're not going to do it, but I mean,
We're not? Damn.
I'm like, well, it's been a while for me. This goes with this. An indecent proposal. How much money would be the line for you to engage in a gay sexual act?
You mean intercourse, or is it something else?
And let me see. It doesn't necessarily be the intercourse. It could be other things.
Man, I couldn't tell you. I think functionally, if no one saw, no one know, at least 2 million. But
no, because nowadays there is that whole gay for pay and things like that. And there's guys.
Yeah.
I was wondering for you, like, if there was some kind of money that you were like, okay, I would take it for this amount of money. I would do it.
Yeah, I know it's kind of the noble thing. You'd be like, no, but like, maybe I'm romantic, but sex has to mean something. Even if it means something like to the person who's paying for it, like I wouldn't enjoy being a vessel in that case. That way I would say no. And that doesn't necessarily mean gay. I could be straight too. I like to have engaged with someone on some level when I'm having sex with them. So I would say no.
So you wouldn't do an OnlyFans either. You wouldn't do an OnlyFans account, would you?
People keep asking about that. Why would I do an OnlyFans? I got 2 abs.
I said no. For me, I would never do it. So I don't do horror.
I wouldn't do OnlyFans. No, I mean, I would probably, if someone said a calendar for charity, maybe I'll wear a tank top, but I think that's as far as I would go.
It's the calendar for charity. I love it. The calendar for charity. Mm-hmm. What is one thing about yourself that was negative during your last relationship?
Something about myself that was negative. Nothing. It was her fault. That
was perfect. That relationship.
It was all me. Okay, so sometimes I wouldn't express myself until I knew 2 or 3 ways of explaining it. Because there was a time where I would say, I don't like this, or I don't want to do that. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'll be stuck. And I'm like, because I don't like it. I was like, no. I should come up with something. So if she asked me why, I can give her a rational answer. But the problem is over time, it was like, I would rather say nothing, like I'm thinking. And so a lot of times, no answer or saying I'm thinking or no comment was worse. And it became destructive. Even though I was trying to help, it was a burden I didn't have to put on myself. I did. I could have just said, well, my gut reaction is this, but I don't know why for now. But looking back on it, I did that too much. And was like, give me a second to think why.
Are you like that in friendships too, or just with relationships?
I think friendships don't really challenge me in the same way. You know what I mean? Because with friendships, you can have the right to be like, hey, I'm going this way. No, I can't say often. Like, okay, I'll look at something. Okay, since the lockdown, I say my best friend's been Jack, right? Because we work together, 4 hours a week, 5 hours a week. And the few times where I've been annoyed by Jack, it's been so minimal. And by annoyed, I mean like we're arguing about wrestling and he doesn't want to listen to my rationale. I mean, it's like, it ain't the same thing as like, what are we in a relationship? Even then you can be like, all right, Jack, I'm talking tomorrow. Or are you crazy? You know?
But you know though, those things sometimes can turn into major things.
Oh, sure. You don't want to shelve things. So if you get to the point where you feel uncomfortable and you're like, oh, this is something that's really weighing on me, of course, bring it out. I think I learned that from my relationship too. So that's the benefit of it. But relationships, if you're a little bit annoyed and you fester, then blah, blah, blah. But with your significant other, it's different because you have seen each other naked and you have seen the best of each other and the worst, and you've seen them change, whether it's physically, mentally. So a lot of times you want to shelve it and say, that's just her. And then one day you wake up, you go, oh, wait, her changed. I changed. Damn it. You know?
Well, also, I know, but sometimes friendships are almost, I've had friend breakups that were worse than my relationship breakups. For some reason, they hit you even harder. You always feel like your friends will always be there no matter what, however you handle them.
I think at the very bottom of it, we say, oh, if my girlfriend broke up with me, I'll get another one. But with friends, it doesn't have that same kind of appeal. You can't go to a bar and be like, I'm looking for friends. You know, I have blocks in my crib want to play. It's different. So yeah, it's rough.
If someone says they have blocks in their crib, I'm running for my life. I'm like, that's just not going to happen. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Question. Dino's asking waffles or pancakes. Waffles.
Hey, I was going to get there.
I'm sorry. Am I canceled? Are you going to cancel my show?
I can cancel you.
You going to cancel me?
No, I'm not going to cancel you. I saw the question there. I was waiting for the other stuff, and I was going to get to that.
Okay, you know what? This is a good example of this. I, feeling uncomfortable telling you about layers about me in a relationship, was trying to find something to joke about, and I talked about waffles and pancakes.
I was just about to actually mention that to you also.
See,
that you always use humor to diffuse an uncomfortable situation.
Not all the time, but most times.
Yeah, that's what I was like, I was getting there.
No more questions. No more comments.
This is very interesting.
Everyone says that. Every time someone sits down with me, they're like, oh man, I've learned so much, but I can't figure you out. But I learned so much.
Oh, I'm figuring you out though.
I'm a puzzle though. Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't that complicated. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I know as an interviewer myself, as an interviewer, producer, showrunner, everything, usually you're in control. And so the first couple of times I went on shows, it was hard for me to like just not look at the camera, not look at the time period, not look at this, because we have to. People don't understand this. And this is all seriousness. We do these shows. This isn't just like we just wake up and fucking do a show. There's so much that go into doing these shows where we're trying to do the technology part now. We're also watching the time. We're also making sure this stuff continues, making sure the guests is coming. There's a lot that goes on in doing these shows. We do a lot of work on these. And someone yelled at me earlier on one of my shows saying that I'm taking a day off or whatever. How can you take a day off? Like we're your number one show. I'm like, I fucking work 24/7. I'm fucking tired. Can a brother get a break for a second and enjoy the Super Bowl? Like, what the fuck? Just like, let me have a moment for myself, please. You'll get a goddamn show next week and it'll be all good. You guys will all live. It's like, come on. It's like,
so the show was on your network and someone was like, look, boss.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like a fan was like screaming at me because they're like, well, I can't believe you're just taking a day off. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking a fucking day off. I'm fucking tired. I am like, I work, like, people know I work and I'm tired. And these soap things are 52 weeks a year. Some of us soap hosts need breaks. We don't want to do it every single Sunday. We're tired. We're doing 5 shows a week that we're covering and all the storylines. It's a lot of work. We love doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, I call it on my Grogu's.
And to be fair, like, you're more consistent than a lot of content creators,
I am.
Oh, we're taking a hiatus for the fall. Spring hiatus.
Well, it's what's funny. I'll tell you more as I chat tomorrow. So I realized when I was putting stuff together, this is my little sheet here of stuff. I have a new show debuting every single day next week. I didn't even realize that.
Whoa! Congrats!
A new show debuting every single day. I didn't even know that. So I'm like, that's how much work I put into all this stuff, folks. I'm tired. James Lott Jr. is taking a Sunday off. Deal with it.
By the way, check out JLJ this morning. Every Monday on.
Our first episode was a very good success. Yep.
I'll check it out.
What is one thing that you do? What's Tony talking about in here already? Some good loud.
What up, Tony Moore?
Tony Moore. Okay, what is one thing about me that you really admire?
Man, you want me to gush on your show again, bro? I do it all the time.
Yes, gush.
I like now he's like, don't produce the show. Not now. Now he's like, yo, I can stop the show, man. I'll tell you, man. So December 2019 is still a hobby. It was something I did on the side. What's Up, Flobo? The original one was still a hobby. Lockdown came, I had a choice to make, whether I just try to look for work or something, or try to build something for myself. And so it's not every day you find a person that's working for their own brand, that does it consistently at a high quality, that is a person of color, that is willing to share information and not expect something in return. You'll get things in return. I mean, we help each other out with anything you need. We talk and stuff like that. But sometimes people are like, oh, you want to know the game? Well, how much is this? Or why you want to know? And to me, that to me blows my mind. Even at our low level, I'm not to say that, not to denigrate you or myself, but we're AfterBuzz hosts. Like, we're not Barbara Walters, we're not Oprah. But it's just so interesting to see the hosts that open themselves up to exchange ideas and values are doing things, and the ones that are all about themselves are not. So I admire the fact, even if you meant to or not, you were like a walking community. You were able to foster that community and to be like the blueprint, the roadmap, and you weren't an asshole about it. And you gave me my first ever gingerbread loaf. That was pretty dope.
I did a gingerbread loaf, yes.
And my first voice acting role. You did a lot of things for me, man.
Okay, that's my saying. Okay. What is it about Jack Farmer that you like?
I think I told this story a lot to other people, but Jack Farmer basically put food on my plate. So back in 2017, I worked in marketing for this really big company, and they called me up Thanksgiving morning and fired me. They let me go. This is 2017. And at the time, I was working as a side gig at this DJ at this like big DJ company. So for most people who don't know, when it comes to wedding vendors, it's either you are a single op or you're yourself, or you're part of a big company or like a roster. You pick a DJ off the list. And I called Jack because Jack had left that company before I had. And he started his own DJ company. I said, Jack, what am I going to do? Like, I got fired on Thanksgiving. It's like Christmas season. Like, it's December. Yeah, I got my 401k disbursement of like a couple thousand, but that's not going to last me anything. He's like, look, you've been practicing the DJ deck. I got a gig in May that I can give to you. If you can get your gear and stuff by then you can be rock and rolling as a DJ. And so I did. And the first 6 months was hard, trying to scramble your money to buy speakers and insurance and all the things that befell minorities and women and new Americans about the legality of starting a business. Like, Jack helped me out with that. And I told, and the thing is, about you, James, he never asked for a dime, never asked for like any kind of thing for it. The only thing Jack Farmer's ever asked me for, was a year after that, after I had my DJ company. He goes, hey, there's something called AfterBuzz. Can you write my recommendation? I was like, that's it? That's all you, bro? I wrote it in 2 hours. It was 3 pages. I was like, and it got it in, and now Jack thanks me. Oh man, I got these opportunities with wrestling. I had this opportunity doing shows. All thanks to you. Like, don't thank me, bro. You know, you're working. But I can tell you, if you didn't teach me how to do my own DJ company in 17, I would be out in the street. Like, there was no money coming in. So I admire that about Jack, much like you, able to help people in need. Didn't ask for much then. I'm grateful I'm able to pay it back. And we worked together on so many shows. But yeah, that Christmas was saved by that chisel jaw and coiffed hair of Jack Farmer. Yeah.
The man who will promote himself like I do.
Sell out.
I love it. I love it.
That was close, James. Almost cried. That was close. But didn't do it.
Yeah, I was getting there. I was getting close. I saw that. I saw it. The fact that I was close makes me happy, even close enough. Yeah, I know it's no cigar, but it works. It's working. What is the thing that you think about your mother the most?
That at my age, I haven't been able to retire her yet. So my mom and my dad are retired. And my mom is not as well off as my dad, which sounds like he's rich. He's not rich, but my mom is still struggling financially. She retired because her body gave out. It couldn't work anymore. And I wanted to be able to call her up one day and say, comedy, hosting, that the time when I said I wanted to go to film school, and you said, I don't understand that because her mom chopped sugarcane for a living, don't know how to work no more. I got you. That to me, it would be like up there with like the goals I have. You say, Mom, don't worry about it. I have money for you. Don't worry about what's going on. So that's the one thing I worry about my mom a lot. She'll be 70 this year. And then she's not the best of health. I mean, she has like asthma. And of course, I'm like super conscious now with the pandemic and stuff. She's like immunocompromised and all that. And that's why I haven't been able to see my parents in over a year, because I'm like, I can't have both my parents are elderly. And so that's what I think about. Maybe I'll say daily. Every time I do a video and I get 10 views, it isn't, I need followers. It's like, how am I getting closer to be able to provide for myself so I can have excess money to provide for my family, especially my mom.
Yeah, that's tough. I know we have aging parents and stuff. I'm very fortunate. My mother and stepdad are set. Thank God they did some stuff that was good. But for all of us who have aging parents, it's a tough thing. Now I'm just watching them with the health stuff going on.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah. So no children for you?
No. Next question.
The next question is why?
I never saw myself as a dad. I don't see the point of children. There's enough people out there having children that you don't need me to be a dad. Babies scare me like dogs. I don't know which one I'd rather hold. They're like small people, but they're just squishy and they smell weird. I just don't see myself being a pop. So no kids.
Do you get backlash for that?
For my dad. My dad, he did the American dream. He came from, he was an electrician, and he came to this country, the United States, and he was able to provide for a family of 4, bought a house in a foreign country, and now he's retired. And he's looking at me like, legacy, I'm a Boyce. Your older brother doesn't have kids either. You should have kids. And I go, yeah, that's not the reason to have a human being. To make you happy, to hell. But no, my mom was the youngest of 3 kids that were spread apart, and she had kids later in life. So I didn't have cousins around me either. So to her, it's kind of like, I don't like them. You want them. That's your problem. You know, but no, I don't. Nah.
Society has this like look at. I think it's fine. I have friends. My grandson now, him and his girlfriend now, they don't want to have kids, and I was like, okay. I mean, they were nurse to tell me, and I was like, I don't really feel like you have to.
I just feel small people ask that for like to make conversation, but people don't really realize how rude that is. Like, what if I had a wife and we were trying every night? We couldn't have it. Now you made it awkward, you know? And so I would go with my girlfriend, and people would say that, yo, so when you get married, when's your kids? I'm just playing. But on my car ride home, and it's like, they were right. Like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you done ruined my weekend. So.
It's so funny how that's somehow acceptable to ask people, especially your family will ask you that, or friends, like, so you're gonna get married, when do you have kids? Like, those are the things, and now in gay life too, that's the question that I thought would never happen for gay folks. When do you have kids? When you get married? When you gonna settle? When you get your house in Vermont? That kind of thing.
Vermont's where to go?
Well, back then it was. That's where a lot of gay friends, gay friendly up there. It was always like, go to Vermont and have a Himalayan whistle kid or something. I don't know. Adopt them or whatever back then. But it's just kind of like that's something I just never thought would have to be. But then of course I had kids already, so because I was fast. But that's another story. But for you, I was young. I knew what I was doing.
My man, Dave's like knocking him
down. I knew I was doing enough, but I don't know.
You motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm like whatever. But they're here. But no, I would tell people, if you don't have kids, I don't judge people for that at all. I think that's why the reason why I asked that question for you, because I know we've talked about it a little bit. I'm always kind of curious why, for sure. And people out there who feel the same way should be okay to feel the same way. I think
people look at me as like a unicorn that way. Not to brag, but I will, because who's gonna do it for me? Because at my age, single black dude, no criminal record, 2 college degrees. You know what I'm saying? Author, all that stuff. You're like, oh man, you should have all the kids, man. Do it for the culture. You're like, have kids for that makes no sense. Because the next question you get is, who's going to take care of you when you're old? And you're like, you're assuming my kids are going to like me. There are plenty of kids who hate their parents. Like, come on. Like, that's not a reason to have a human being to say, I need someone to wipe my butt. Come on, man. You can pay someone for that. Let's be real.
I'm still hoping my granddaughter Scarlett watches over me. Don't listen to him.
It should be a definite. It should be like, yeah, I want a kid, not, well, my parents said, wipe my ass as you get a kid. That does not make sense to me.
Yes, I understand. When you leave the house, how aware are you of your blackness?
Oh, all the time. I run with a mask on. It's like a snoot, so like the negator. And I go, after Breonna Taylor, you don't have to go outside. They can come to your house. They can come to your house and kick you dead and be like, well, always wait for all the facts, And that's not kind of the humor I do on stage. And that's not the kind of person I try to slip in so much in my shows. But I mean, yeah, I guess, as a kid, I grew up in the NYPD in the 90s. And whether you want to thank Giuliani or Dinkins or chastise them for it, the NYPD in the 90s became basically a paramilitary force. And it was the truancy department became NYPD schools. You know what I mean? The visitor center became NYPD movie and television. Like, it became like this weird paramilitary. So I've always been anxious. And so, yeah, my blackness, yeah, I live in Palm, which is pretty much diverse. But when I do these weddings in Orange County, that's why I bought a shirt. That's why I got a uniform. Because I would roll up to these weddings as talent, as the DJ. And someone goes, hey, do you have a ladder around here? Do you work here? You can't take it off. And I love it when people look at me, because there's some people I don't believe in this country who feel that we were racist one time. Martin Luther King made one speech. Racism was cured. Then Obama came and divided us. And you're like, are you kidding me? Like, how many times have you been take away from jobs? There's people who are doing the same thing I'm doing in this show. I can guarantee who get picked up first. It's not going to be me. So the idea is it's like polluted air, and that I live in LA. And it's clean now, but a generation ago, it was one of the worst cities to live in, but people still went on. So yes, I am black. Yes, every time you walk past me in the street, you take out your car keys and lock the car door. I notice that. When I'm denied a job because, well, you got to quite the right fit, and someone who's less qualified but is more fair skinned, I notice that. But I can't let that be my entire existence,
I do know. Exactly.
You know?
I know. If I didn't know, I know now. I always drive now.
Blackity
But
black.
have you ever had an incident with the police?
Yeah, you want to pick a state? I can tell you.
That's the sad part. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's what's so sad.
In my mid to late 20s, I was doing the single guy in the city. I graduated film school in Orange County. I moved to Glendale. I didn't have a job yet because I thought as an editor, that's where all the studios were. And one night I was completely broke. So I had called my mom like late, like I think it was 10 o'clock Pacific. Ma, I need some money from groceries. Mom sent me the money, so I was gonna get groceries. And ironically, I should have done this, but I live on the block of a grocery store, but I was like, I'm gonna go to the big one because they got donuts. They got donuts. The grocery store was inside a parking garage. And I had an old Mazda that you had to like manually turn on the lights. Cars don't do that anymore, but you did. So I drove downtown Glendale, off of Colorado, and I pulled in. I turned off the lights of the Mazda before I pulled in the car, and I parked. When I got out, I didn't realize this, but there was a cop car from Glendale PD, lights ablaze. 2 cops get out. The driver's side, old school cop, lawman's mustache, big pot belly, guy who thought he was a badass 20 years ago, but not no more. And his partner was like jacked up right out of like the academy, hands on the holster already. I'm like, first thing you do, hands up. Alone the club, hands up. What's going on, officer? We saw you turn off your car lights when you drove in here. You know that, right? Got a problem. Like, well, a lot of people when they're dealing drugs, they black out their car lights. Can we inspect your vehicle? I was like, now I know the answer here is no. Right. But I'll tell you one thing for all of you listening right here. I told you about my 2 college degrees. I had them back then. I have an IQ of 139. I've never been arrested in my life. It doesn't mean a goddamn thing. When a person has a gun, you do what they say. So I said, okay, inspect the vehicle. We smell weed. The time I never did marijuana in my life. I still never smoked marijuana. I only do edibles now, but I never smoked marijuana in my life. And so they did a field sobriety test. Touch your nose, walk the line, backwards alphabet, which I can barely do sober. Not being funny. What comes after? What comes before P? Oh, okay. And they did a strip search. So the big lawman guy was like, let me know if you're doing any of that marijuana stuff. I go, no, I haven't. And he goes, well, the last person who told me that was out walking high out of his mind on Highway 2. He grabbed around me, bear hug, and patted me down. Got to my chest. I have gynecomastia, which is man boobs. I'll admit it. Grabbed my chest, my breasticles, as I call them, chesticles. Went to my waist, grabbed my penis. Why? The reason being going, people like you store the drugs there. People like me. And so I said, is there anything else? And I said, are you going to charge me, sir? Because I passed the field sobriety test. He goes, no. But next time, don't be a teenager. And I can tell you this, James Lott Jr., I was basically physically assaulted inside of a parking lot of a grocery store in Glendale, California, a town I actually love, I tried going into the store because I was still hungry and starving, but I tell you, man, I was so heated. Didn't eat for days. And for months after that, when I go on my runs, still in Glendale, every time I saw a cop car, which should be a symbol of protection, I got worried. I was like, well, what? Could it be him? What if that guy sees me again? Is he going to grab another part of my body? Is he going to write up the charge? Should I do an angry letter? Should I go to internal affairs? Can a black person complain about the police at the police station? No. And so I learned again, it didn't matter because I thought the NYPD was one police force. Didn't matter where. Didn't matter where in this country, man. There's no safe person if you're a person of color.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for sharing that. I agree. I totally agree.
No,
I just won't start crying. I just think, all I'm going to say is I just think people need to wake up and realize that if you're a person of color, especially a black man in this country, it's not easy to just walk the streets or drive around.
Absolutely.
It isn't.
What I didn't appreciate last year with the protests is the fact that everything else has been weaponized. People are upset and they're protesting in the street, and then all you see people in these shows been like, well, what we see here is appalling. Will MLK stand for this? I went to college at Flagler College, which is in St. Augustine, Florida. Do you know where MLK got arrested by the Ku Klux Klan? St. Augustine, Florida. And it wasn't 100 years ago. It was in the 60s. You know, grandparents had to deal with different watering fountains, man. Like, it is nuts that there's so much evidence out there. And it's always, you know, yeah, people need to chill out. You know, what's wrong with Kaepernick? You know what I'm saying? LeBron James, shut up and play basketball. All right.
I got it last year too when I did my speeches, when I did shows.
You're an OG, James. I know you. You're a real one.
You know I am, and I know, and I think that people need to understand that we're not just trying to cause problems. We're trying to let you know that this is our lives. I mean, this is not just even it's not even a hypothetical thing. I was sharing my experiences about having the cops on me just as recent as 4 years ago in West Hollywood. You know, it's like you think I'm in West Hollywood. You think it's gay boys, gay town. Everybody's sunny and bright and flouncy and
tolerant.
Jittery. What?
Tolerant.
Yeah, tolerant. And I know what it feels like to be angry and feel just like I want to do something because, you know, we're grown men, not boy. And when it happens to you as a grown man and they try to reduce you to a boy, it's just like that's what he said, you know, stop being a teenager. You're trying to reduce you. It's almost, he should just call you boy, basically.
I think he wants it, yeah.
And to me, you can call me any name in the world, you call me boy, and that triggers me. I think I said on the show, it triggers me when a white person calls me boy. And then I know exactly what that boy means. There's a whole history of that. And I'm a decade, I mean, I'm more than a decade, but I'm a generation above you. And it was way worse, believe it or not, when I was growing up.
Absolutely.
And so I just so for the fact that it's still happening, it's so tiring to me that it's still happening. Like,
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Does it bother you though that if you were to be shot by a cop for whatever reason, there'll be a 2-day delay and then they'll find something you did wrong?
Right.
Like, hey man, yeah, man, he was jailed for yeah.
Or he does edibles, or he drinks, or he was gay, or he was this. They'd find something to. Ironically, today Trayvon Martin would have been 26. Think about that for a second.
It's a shame. Yeah.
Think about that. Just think about that for a second. And so I just think that people need to just realize that this country that I love and I want to be here tells me in many ways that I shouldn't be here and I don't belong here. And we still stay here. You tell us to chill out and calm down and get over yourselves. It's like you don't live the way that we live, and it's a shame. And so when I talk to young black men here, they still are going through some things that I simply went through 20, 30 years ago. You're like, yeah, well, when is it going to change finally? Like, when is it going to finally change? You know, I mean, I'm over it. I'm just so over it.
It's sorry.
You know, so that's kind of one of those things. So I'm sorry it happened to you. That's you were assaulted.
Yeah, that's comes with the skin color, man.
Okay, so this is Flobito. Another game.
Hopefully a happier question.
I'll go back up a little bit, but yes, I want to get a little serious with you. I want to see. I mean, I think it's important to be serious sometimes. Flobito, I'm going to say something, and you're going to give me your first word or thought. First word or thought. Do not think too much about it. Just whatever comes to mind for you. Sex.
Don't get it often enough.
I understand.
Beautiful. It's beautiful, yeah.
Vienna sausages.
Amazing.
I just bought some barbecue flavor ones again.
Oh, that's what's up. I hadn't had those before.
Your brother.
He is an inadvertent homie. Can I explain that one or no? Don't explain it.
Please, actually, I'm curious. What does that mean?
Oh, so my brother and I are 6.5 years apart. And so he was more of a nerd when I was. Like, he wore glasses, so he had the big gold frames because it was the 80s, you know. And he got made fun of. And so when he started shedding his stuff to be cool, I was at the age where I was the annoying little brother. So we fought all the time. And it was like this weird thing where I was just like, he's my brother, like, get away. You know, I didn't know at the time, but it was just that. So my milestones, like, there was no big brother to tell me like about girls or how to cheat on tests or none of that cool, how to drive until later, you know. But as we got older and when he had his marriage that dissolved and I had my trouble with my girlfriend at the time, we actually bonded over women. And so now he's like my homie. But I growing up, I was like, I guess we're not gonna be friends, you know, because we're just so far apart. You know?
That happens. That happens sometimes. You get closer, you get older. Girls.
Complicated.
Snow.
Cool from afar.
Comedy legend.
Sid Caesar.
Oh, well, I didn't expect that one. Microphone.
The Life.
Angels.
Cool to look at.
That's hilarious. I like that. Today.
A dream.
Okay. Now I was going to ask.
I can expound.
Yes, please do. Actually, I'm curious. It may indicate the next word I was going to ask you. So yes.
I look at my bank account and it's like sad. I look at the fact that I'm not really famous in most of my videos or whatever. But I will say this: if everything was equal, granted, I wouldn't have my dresser here because my apartment's small. But I'm doing what I love, man, and that's crazy. This week on my wrestling show, I got one of the commentators from a wrestling promotion. People have seen my more videos this week than everything else. I got interviewed by StreamYard because they like the way I'm using the app. Like these so many wins that like if this were happening on a big scale, it's like a dream. Granted, I never dreamed of being in my bedroom doing content, but like being able to make a living and presence being myself, that's the ultimate thing. It's a dream.
Yeah, I like that. Driving.
Fun.
Food.
Portion control.
I like that. I like that. I was saying along the same lines. White Castle.
What you crave. I like White Castle.
Junior's cheesecake. A Brooklyn must for me. That's my words that come out.
Oh, nostalgic.
Yeah.
I would think them and Classic Entenmann's to me, because I live by the old Entenmann's factory over there in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. We used to go to Junior's Cheesecake in I think downtown Brooklyn. We used to go there all the
time. Yeah, that's the one.
They're like that one chick was there like 90 years. So like, I think she finally died, but it was this one chick this waitress was there forever. And she waited. So this is Flobo's thing, but my great grandmother, who I love to death, it was her birthday. And we all got in a giant town car, went down to Junior. My mother, we all flew back there. We all met up in New York. My mother, my stepdad, me, we all got together, took her to this place. She liked the lady who was there. It was one of her. She was old. She had been there for 100,000 years. We had a great dinner. All had cheesecake. When I could have cheesecake. Now I'm lactose intolerant. And then that was just a really fun moment for me. We got drunk. We had a good time. It was a lot of fun.
I've been to the restaurant once. Growing up, my mom, she was a nurse in the labor and delivery department of Brooklyn Hospital. So on her double shifts, she would come back with the cake or like the big breakfast at McDonald's or whatever on a Sunday morning. And that was like, oh, cheesecake. It's like, wait till dinner time. No, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I've been to the restaurant once. My friend was in town and he was having a bachelor party, but he was kind of like, no, I just want to drink and talk. He went to Junior's Cheesecake Factory. I was like, wow, this is like a Brooklyn I forgot about. You know, it's
my the decor. Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, it is. Pizza.
Delicious, but I'm learning to live without it because I'm a bit of a snob, and so, well, I won't say that. I eat Domino's all day, but like if someone tells me it's New York style, I'm like, let me see that.
Yeah, I don't blame that.
I just avoid it. Yeah.
No, I don't blame that. Your teeth.
I'm afraid of them.
Okay, you have to elaborate. Why are you afraid of your own teeth?
Because
you have nice teeth.
Well, thank you. That's the product of modern science, man. When I was a kid, I had what they call riders. So like these here are here on the bone. And so I had to get 4 extractions, had braces for 2 years. When I was in grad school, money was tight. So I didn't go to the dentist for 3 years. So like all of my molars on the bottom side are all filled. Like if you look at the diagram, it's like the hole and the nerve is like this. So if it gets any worse, that's like root canal city. So every day I'm like, like making sure preserve, you know what I mean? So they're kind of, I'm afraid of them. Yeah.
I had my first root canal in 2019. Wasn't that bad. I had a good endodontist.
Ooh. Sounds expensive.
Yeah, luckily my insurance covered it.
Insurance? What's that?
I don't know. I lucked out. Mom
is the OG fan club member, man. You know, she doesn't quite understand what I do. She always tells me to read the Bible, trust in Jesus, but she's there.
Your dad.
My dad's a complex man. A lot of things I learned how to be a man was in spite of him, not because of him. But I do think that I'm the glue in my family. I respect a lot what he did. The fact that I'm more resourceful than my peers in a lot of ways. I can't fix things around the house. That's the one thing I didn't pass down. I'm the worst at that. But when it comes to like working problems out and thinking of things logically and waiting for things to corroborate evidence, that's my dad.
Okay, that's just cool. Black.
Like my coffee. I am black.
Yeah, I like that. Male, as in man.
That is something that's constantly being defined and redefined. I like to think that I am a male. I like to think that I'm a man. But I tune into the culture and I'm seeing conversations that are making me question whether I'm man enough or too much man, given the society's new rules. Not in a bad way. I'm like, oh, things are changing. It's just everyone has a different interpretation of what a man should be, especially now. Especially on dates.
Yeah. And the last one, the mind.
The mind is a maze.
It's a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah, terrible thing to waste. Freedom is fundamental. My whole life lives here. I'm in solitude. I'm by myself. I talk to a camera. I talk to myself. I work out things in myself. I write. I mean, everything comes from the mind. You know, the origin, I guess.
What is the camera's relationship to you?
Camera's relationship. I've always had stories. I always had personalities, but as someone that was heavy set, I used to avoid the camera. Just hide behind people. I'll do the thing with the poke behind, like it's me, you know. But that all changed when I performed comedy for the first time at 29. I realized there's a whole different thing I didn't even realize existed besides talking to the microphone. There is a warmth from having the power to make someone's day better with your stories and perspective and experience. That's why I kind of cringe when someone goes, oh, I want my story to be told. And it's like, as a comedian, it's like, it's not about that. It's about the audience, right? Because you can write a book if you have problems. And so when that happened, it opened everything up. Being an MC, doing the hosting thing, AfterBuzz, it really was the first night doing comedy live. It changed everything.
Wow, that's good. Thank you, Flobito, for doing this with me. You survived. I learned a lot about you during this episode, but it was unspoken.
Hey, everyone knows about me. Open book, y'all.
So I will give you a chance to ask me one question. It doesn't matter what it is. I'll give you a chance. I know this is. I didn't tell him this before.
Yeah.
But I've decided. I halfway through the show. I was like, I don't have to, if I do this again, Tim, I'll let the person just ask me one question.
Yeah.
They want to ask me. So you got a chance to ask me whatever the fuck you want.
Did you ever kill anybody? No, don't answer that question.
Yo, Mary Shag Kill. Okay.
Okay. What would you do with $100,000 right now?
$100,000. I had $100,000 2 years ago, and I did some good stuff with it too. So now, what would I do with it now? I did actually had $100,000. I sold my house and I had that. I actually cleared that, so I did a lot of stuff with it, which is helping me now actually with my business. $100,000. I would take a portion of it and pay down my house. So I don't want to pay it off. I'm not going to pay it off. I just want to pay it down a little bit. Take a portion of it, put it in a CD or something so I can make some money. And then the rest of it, I would put into my company. Probably trying to hire somebody, a staff person, to help me with all the paperwork and social media stuff. That's probably what I would use it for. I guess for a salary for them.
Alligator shoes, Rolls Royces, none of that, helicopter, none of that stuff.
I don't need anything. I've gotten to the age where I don't want stuff. Whatever I buy, it's for like these little Grogu. It's just cutesy things. I buy cutesy things. Plants, you don't mean the fucking plants. I'll buy those all day long.
Green
but
thumb.
like those are living things, so they serve me. But no, I am, I'm an organizer by trade. I don't want stuff. I deal people's stuff every day, and I see what you can't take with you. It's just also I was in a fire and I almost lost everything basically. So I know what it feels like to like just lose stuff. I have nothing from my childhood. I have nothing from my teenage years. Nothing from my early 20s. They're all gone. Pictures, trophies, they're just all gone. I can't replace them. So I learned whatever I have now is usually for function, like to have and have, or for beauty, or just kind of for make me feel better, that kind of stuff. So this money, it'd be for my future, which is the house and putting some away, and the rest would be going back into my business, which gives me joy. So that's I mean, I want to be practical, and also again help other people. Let's give somebody a job, and and let them do work for me, but also pay them and maybe bring them into the business. Like I'd love to have an assistant of some sort.
Well, sorry, Andorra. James ain't gonna visit you because he's putting it all into his business. He ain't gonna travel nowhere.
No, I'm like, screw the grandkids and kids. Sorry, I can't see you guys anymore. I gotta take care of my life down here. You guys can come see me. Oh yeah, so whatever. Come on down. But I'm like, but no, I really do want to. I would put it into back in a way. It's investing in myself. I mean, it's all. It'd help my brother out a little bit because we live together, we own the house together. I mean, it would help us. I think I'm in my almost my mid-50s, and I'm thinking about my future now. Now I'm at that age. Anybody who's in this age group knows this. You just start thinking about retirement, which I probably will never retire, just because that's just not
right.
Yeah. But think about that age. So I want to make sure that I actually have some pretty good insurance. Thank you, Jesus. But like other things, just I have enough money to like take care of my house because as I'm not gonna tell about my business. You already know I pay very low mortgage. But I won't be able to keep it. But I'm always saying when you have $0 in the bank, any amount is too much. So you want to make sure you have money in the bank so that you can actually continue even the low.
That's dope advice. Shout out to mama.
Yeah, but isn't that funny? Because I was thinking, it's only $20. Well, it's only $20. There's only $20. If you have $10, it's too much. There is no only. I mean, you may think it sounds like only, but there really isn't. And I love that advice. It's so true.
That's deep. What is money, y'all?
Rid of all these. That's what money is. People kill for it. But very good question. But yeah, no, I have had that money before, and I did use it in ways that now are paying me off. I had no idea there's going to be a pandemic next year, but it's paying off for me, actually. All of a sudden, I'm talking to you on this computer, laptops, I bought all this stuff just in case. Yeah. And then now I live it. I mean, I live in this goddamn seat. This is what I do every day. I'm in this seat. You guys don't even understand. This is my life right now. It's just.
I understand.
You understand. You understand. This is I need a better chair. I need to invest in a chair. I need more vodka. I don't know. Something. It's all I do. This is my life. I have people texting me already on the phone. Okay, just my life is 24/7. It's not like this goes.
Yeah, I hear you. That's life we chose, man.
It is. But thank you, Flobo Boyce, for joining us for our first AMA. I'm going to do again with other people too. He was our first. He made it through. He did make it through. There's no question too crazy. There was a few that were there. I almost got him to cry once. Almost.
I was a little nervous for a while. I don't know which question's going to go. But
I know, you're a little nervous, but he did fine. Flobo Boyce, tell them where they can find you online.
That's right. You can follow me on that youtube.com/Flobo Boyce. And if you want to book me to be part of your event, you do that at Flobito.com. I'll do Zoom parties. I'll DJ your wedding out here in Southern California. Homeboy's got to eat, bro.
Yes, he does. And of course, you can follow this channel. If you're here now, or you're here later, be kind and please hit the subscribe button. I think it's down here somewhere. Hit it. I'm trying to get more subscribers so that things get unlocked when I have more subscribers, which means more benefits to you. You like my content. So please go ahead and do these. Were there questions about Tony Moore? No, Tony, there wasn't.
My name is Flobo Show.
Yeah. But I appreciate all the support, of course. I have lots of programming coming out in the next couple of weeks. New programming is coming out from Cupid's Crossing to the Valentine's Day crossover special, which he's also in. Flobo is in that one too. Not a nice person, but he's in it.
Sure.
You know, but I had to make him bad, a villain. But also things like the Really Short Story podcast, the Dallas After Show. This Sunday, if you're watching this now for Sunday, we're only doing 3 shows, which are the Bold and Beautiful Mini Spotlight, Y&R Mini Spotlight, and the Favorite in the Day After Show. Those are all in the morning on Sunday. Stay tuned for all this, so you'll see all the different links on my social media, which is where all James Lott Jr.'s are sold at James Lott Jr. on social media platforms. He always wonders where they're sold. They're sold everywhere. James Lott Jr. is just sold everywhere, so that's where you can find me. You know, no special place, just everywhere. I'm everywhere you want to be, like American Express.
But yeah, still a limited edition.
It's still limited. That's right, kids. It's only one me. When I was born, they broke the mold, and that was it, kids. They said, that's it. Except for my mother. We're twins. That's it. Everyone, please stay safe, stay sane, wash your hands, wash your ass, wash the counter spaces, wash the door handles, get that Lysol, get that Clorox. Do it, please, and stay safe, and have compassion.